There's a fight. You could look it up. It's Boom Boom Mancini. I think he was fighting Hector Camacho I think it was Alexis Arguello.
Yeah.
It was like an undercard of a Tyson fight. And either way, Boom Boom's hair was too long, and he kept wiping it out of his thing. They should have just cut his hair in the corner. They asked him after, like, what do you think happened with the fight? And everybody's like, his hair was too long.
Yeah.
It's like, and Boom Boom's Youngstown, hometown.
I get wanting to be cool, but it's like, come on.
Dude, and do you think it was really the hair? I mean, I'm not Youngstown, South Side. That's Boom Boom's my guy, but you got. I mean, dude, it's like you're fighting at the top.
Be a professional.
You're fighting the top. This is the number one in your weight class. Titles like Alexis Arguello's. That dude was like prime number one.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess hair could do it. I'd cut the shit in the corner. I'd be like, get the scissors and cut it.
Yeah.
They said Boom Boom used to always have two girls at the ice cream parlor. If one would leave him, one would just take its place.
Wow.
And he's my height.
Does
so
this
I
dude
got
just
hope.
like, he's still in town?
Well, he moved out to L.A., tried to make movies. He's friends with Ed O'Neill. They grew up together.
Oh,
you
from
know, Married with Children? Yeah,
Wow.
he's from my hometown, Youngstown.
Is he?
Yeah, him and my Uncle Lou used to play football.
Wow.
And,
just like Al Bundy.
Yeah, Al Bundy, yeah.
But I mean, he's always talking about playing football.
Oh, yeah, because he really did.
Scored 8 touchdowns.
He used to play football all the time. I guess they walked off the field, and he told my Uncle Phil, actually, because I got a lot of uncles, but he told my Uncle Phil that he's like, yeah, I'm going to become an actor.
Wow.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, that show was really like ahead of its time.
And he walked in and nailed the part.
That is just like it's the kind of show they haven't even made anything like that
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah.
I mean, like with that kind of character and with that kind of family.
And the physical comedy, that was probably one of the best shows.
It was very, very, but it was just so edgy for what it was at the time. You couldn't even make that kind of show now. Because it's like the characters, nobody likes each other, and everybody's like all, yeah.
He had that other show.
His wife's always trying to fuck him. And
in the other show, he's too cool, you know?
Yeah. Well, you can't. I mean, once you get typecast like that, that's just him at that point.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool I mean, I had no idea he was an Ohio guy.
Ed O'Neill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he claims it.
I don't know. Probably. I think he talks about Akron.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he talked about Akron on Married with Children.
See, if you were that kind of guy, though, wouldn't you want to, like, do you really want to stay out in L.A.?
No,
if you were a boom boom, it's like, no, you want to, if you try for a little bit, get some money, but it's like, no, you come home.
I don't know. I mean, he made world champ. It's like, for him, he's probably bummed because now he could just go on Instagram and be more famous than any movie he could have made. Like, he had a movie production company. He made like 3 or 4 movies. The thing is with acting, though, it's like, you can't just learn it. Like,
well, they don't really make those kinds of movies anymore. That was like a 90s kind of movie.
Yeah, it was.
Where it was like a guy who's not like a good actor, but he's kind of just like a Van Damme, all those weird Van Damme movies, where it's like they used to just make all this straight-to-video shit, and it would be like there was sort of an ecosystem for it.
Yeah.
These days, even with like Netflix movies, they don't really got someone like that's not going to pop up in a movie.
Yeah, you need somebody with some experience.
I mean, like they don't that kind of star power doesn't carry that kind of movie anymore.
Right.
But it used to be like there would like Bruce Willis. There's just like dozens of these just bullshit movies out there.
Yeah.
Where it's like you had no idea. You think you're a Bruce Willis fan, and you realize, no, I haven't even seen most of this guy's movies.
Yeah, they play him on cruise ships.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's got a lot of those weird movies.
It's one of those movies where you go to like a Mexican bakery, and it's just on TV.
I don't know.
You're like, you guys watching YouTube in here?
I don't know if this is a gag or if this is real. I really hope that this is a gag because, bro, the movie where Robert De Niro plays all 3 characters. They all look like De Niro. He can't change his character.
You're too old at that point.
And also, it's not like Eddie Murphy where you're like, oh, who played that guy? Oh, that was Eddie too?
It's because of all the prosthetics and shit.
It's it's definitely De Niro, though. Every one, he's done the same exact. De Niro could play one character. Like, I know people are like, oh, he's one of the greatest actors, but if you think about it, the dude plays one character.
Well, I mean, one character now. As you get older as an actor, your range disappears more. But it's like you go back to the 80s. This dude, he had more chops.
What did he have? He had Taxi and a whole bunch of mobster movies.
I can't think now.
Right.
If I go back, though, I guarantee you this dude. I mean, it's like this happens with all actors.
Yeah.
Especially in Hollywood. You get typecast over time.
Yeah, you play one role too good.
Yeah.
It sucked. Every role that, what's his name, Ray Liotta got, it's like, dude, we just see Henry Hill. Like,
Right. Well, especially him. Yeah.
He had one role he did so good.
Yeah. Well, he was in Field of Dreams too.
Oh, why he wasn't Field of Dreams?
Yeah. That was pretty good.
That was like before he was famous, though, right?
Was that before Goodfellas? Or? Probably.
He
yeah.
did do good in Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner. You ever see that Bodyguard movie?
Oh yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Real bodyguards don't look like Kevin Costner. You tripping?
Even Kevin Costner, though, it seemed like he got typecast, and then late in his career, he does the Yellowstone show, and that's like the biggest show ever.
Well, I think people get that second chance back like in 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to see Seinfeld's going to be doing something.
But someone like Boom Boom Mancini, it's like back in the days, if you were just like, if your brand was like, I'm a kick-ass dude, it's like, now put that guy in a movie.
Yeah.
And they would just make a really bad movie.
And it's got to be a character with a bunch of scars on their eyes.
Yeah, well, you'd be like the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah.
It would be you versus Dolph Lundgren or like Mr. T or something.
Yeah.
Where it was just like dudes back then. See, it wasn't even about versatility or being able to like do different characters. It's like, no, you're Mr. T. We're putting you in a Mr. T movie.
And the one thing with Boom Boom is range of voice. Like for whatever reason, he sounds like a Latino. I don't know what it is.
Oh, really?
You ever see an interview with him?
Nah.
He grew up in Ohio his whole life, but he sounds like he speaks
I get
Spanish
Boom
as
Boom
a first
Mancini
language.
in my mind. I think Butterbean. That's not him.
They probably fought one time for at a fair or something.
Oh, yeah.
Boom Boom used to knock everybody out. He'd come in. That's how he got his name. Boom Boom. He just charge you.
There you go.
And he'd take blows. He'd just charge you and leave his head open.
Wow.
And you'd hit him in the head, and he'd just hit you in the body till you fell down. Boom Boom had workout tapes and all kinds of stuff.
See, yeah, if I was that kind of guy, I would be back in town. I'd be the regular at the bar in town.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming in. Ah, it's him. I would just sit in the corner in my own little booth.
I would definitely do that. Kelly Pavlik's there, too. Kelly never left. He stayed there.
There you go. Stay true to your roots.
You know what's funny? Anytime Kelly Pavlik or a celebrity in a small town like that does anything, like I see why they would leave. Like anytime they do anything, this is Ohio, right? You do crazy shit all the time. Like me and my buddies, we used to ride 4-wheelers through the woods and shoot at targets with guns and shit.
Right.
You know, it's Ohio. So they had like one thing, like Kelly went to go check his mail with a 4-wheeler, and it was like all over the news. It was like this whole weird thing.
He had like a big house?
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, was he what was the reason that he couldn't walk, or why would you do that? It's like, bro, who gives a fuck? Like, it's Ohio.
That's my 4-wheeler.
Yeah. And they
paid for that driveway.
They make such a big deal out of everything when you're famous.
It's small town gossip.
Yeah.
There's just not much else to talk about.
Small town gossip. I remember one time the dude bought a fridge and never came back and got it. And it was at like Lowe's or Home Depot, and it just said Kelly Pavlik's fridge, and it was just sitting there. And it was like the most expensive fridge you can get at the time. And they're like, yeah, he bought it and just never came to pick it up. It's been here for like 6 months. We tried calling him.
Wow.
Yep.
Just imagine, like, you can visualize around town at that same, there's like 100 conversations happening at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just two ladies in a kitchen talking.
About that fridge.
Yeah, you heard about the fridge?
Yeah, guaranteed.
Who would do something like that?
Huh.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, though. Once you get some money up, you just go back to Youngstown. You buy, like, the nice house.
Yeah.
Move to the nice part of town, but then you're just a guy around town.
Yeah.
Go watch some high school football.
Get a nice car.
Yeah. Drive real slow.
You know, I'd have to start doing some sort of stuff in the community.
Well, you could do commercials, but for, like, the local Nissan dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could even take it a step further. Maybe get in doing it for the whatever, become a news reporter or something there.
Right,
the weatherman.
Yeah.
You never know.
Everybody just says, like, oh, no, he's doing it for free.
Yeah. he has love of the game.
Oh, you got to stay busy when you get
So
old.
as you guys know, it's going to rain tomorrow. You know what I'd try to get on a radio show back home.
Oh, there you go. Drive time.
WKBN in the morning.
Yeah. Talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, and I always got to bring up something about how you don't got to cuss to be funny.
Yeah. Kids these days. Yeah.
You don't got to cuss to be funny.
I was watching a movie the other day. This girl had her shirt off and everything. Put that away.
I met one kid out here, man. I was doing a moving job for him. He was like 22 or something from South Carolina. And he didn't have the accent, though, but he was good at imitating it. And he was like, bro, that's how you get in the movies in New York. You got to sound like you're from South Carolina. He booked a role with Emilio Estevez.
Wow.
Fake South Carolina accent. Remember that thing with the Cowboys that came out like 4 or 5 years ago?
I don't know.
He was in it, dude. I moved him in.
Yeah, I mean, Southern accents, it's not as easy. It's a hard accent to do.
And you got to actually have love in your heart. You can't be like the people with the real good Southern accents. You could hear it that they're like I don't know. It's a mixed bag.
It's something though where like somebody who's actually from the South, they can spot it
if it's real or not.
They know that's something they actually get like really offended about.
It's like how people from South Africa say no.
Right. But it's like something
them.
that like I wouldn't even think about.
Faking an accent?
Because I don't even think of people have California accent, but it's not like having a Southern accent.
Yeah.
Where it's like, nah, this dude's about it.
People tell me I sound like I'm from New York, except for like real New Yorkers, but everywhere else they go, "Oh, you're from New York."
Well, I mean, it's the joke. Ohio doesn't have an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very neutral kind of way of talking.
Yeah, that is wild when you think about it. You don't get the accent till Pittsburgh.
Right.
We went to a strip club in Pittsburgh, man. I'll be honest, some pretty women. If you can get past the accent, dude, there's some pretty women in Pittsburgh.
Locals?
Yeah, because they'll say yins. Yins want to dance?
Right. Man, if that was it's Pittsburgh, it's like it used to be like a really nice, not like nice, but that was like the big like industrial hub.
And
go back
still
like
pretty
go
nice.
back like 100 years, but I mean like it was like happening.
Like you think it was like New York back then?
Not even that, but it was just like that's where everybody went to get jobs.
They got more bridges
in the area. It was like people work in the steel mill.
They have more bridges than Venice.
You leave your farm town, you go work in Pittsburgh.
And now it's like it's just panini sandwiches, Pamani Brothers. It's like Italian
well,
sandwiches.
all that steel kind of shit. They make that in Mexico or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still got good sandwiches there. And they got a good baseball field.
But there's so many of those towns, especially in Pittsburgh. You go to like what's the place with all the steel stacks? I can't remember what that place is called.
I want to say Youngstown.
No, in
Detroit?
in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
It's like way out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, I can't think.
I did some comedy festival thing there, but it's crazy how you could still go by some of those towns because it's like whenever there's a town, it's like Detroit or wherever where they used to make a bunch of stuff. The city still the factories are all still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're still like you can look at it and think, oh, this is what they used to do here. Whereas a city like New York, everything is constantly getting torn down and rebuilt, and they put up these big-ass condos.
They're still standing from the 1950s in Youngstown, in my hometown.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the steel mills.
Well, it's just like, what else are we going to do with this?
Yeah. Well, they should just put movie studio there.
I guess, but they only need so many movie studios. I mean, they can do that in, like, Georgia or something. But there's so many places around the country where there's just still, like, just empty buildings.
The names are still on them. Like every time we go past the one, I forgot the name of it, William B. Pollock. It was a steel mill in Youngstown. Every time we go past it, my dad will bring up, he goes, I remember when my dad got fired from this job.
Yeah.
I heard him by the steps.
I bet you if you still go in those factories and just poke around, it's probably like somebody's like, it's like half a cup of coffee.
Yeah, work gloves.
There's a bunch of shit from the very last day. Somebody
a
left their
picture
jacket.
Of somebody's kids.
Yeah. Like
look up Youngstown, man. If you look up Youngstown, it was a dark day when those steel mills shut down. Because I think it was more Youngstown was more the steel area.
Yeah.
And them things shut down, dude. They were done.
Wow.
And people still stuck around. It's crazy. Youngstown used to be such a booming town. It's crazy how some places could just go down so fast.
Well, that's why they're reliant on like one industry, and that industry's out. So it's like, well, nothing's going to take its place.
What industries do we even have now? Like anywhere in America?
Well, I mean, in New York City, everything runs on finance. So it's
garment
all just,
district.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like banks, people moving money back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like guys who are just like borrowing money from one place and putting it to another place.
What about Jersey? Nothing really is happening there, huh?
Oh, there's like all those chemical plants. You're driving through Jersey.
Oh, get out.
Everything smells all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're making like weird like plastic chemicals and shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But that's the thing with all this Trump stuff about the like tariffs, and they're trying to bring back manufacturing to America. But it's like, do you really want that? Do we really
I feel like some people don't want to get an education.
I don't even mean that, but it's like, who wants to work in a fucking factory?
Dude, my buddy's kids, The last thing they want to do is learn.
Not even like, not a factory like the steel mills, but the factory where you build shit like this.
Oh, dude, we ain't doing
Those
it.
are the jobs. The reason why they have little kids doing these jobs is because your fingers have to be small.
Wow.
You're gluing one little piece onto another piece for 10 hours a day.
Dude, you're smart. You really think that's why?
Look at the. I mean,
dude, you're smart. Dude, you are a smart dude, man.
I'm trying to figure out something in this room, but it's like any kind of electronics, that camera.
Yeah.
It's like, think about how precise, if you open it up, how precise all the little
Right.
parts are. If you move that little,
Man.
there's all these like, computer chips in there. If you move one chip off to the side a little bit, the camera doesn't work.
Yeah.
If you get one piece of dust in between the two transistors, the camera doesn't work.
Man.
That's why everybody in those Chinese factories, if you look up a Chinese factory pictures of it, it looks like a hospital.
Wow.
They're all masked up, gloves, and it's like you got to be like precise.
Man,
You got-
microscope.
But you got to think, 2025, any big manufacturing of like a car, that's all machines.
Everything's got to be robots. You would think the phones would
They
be
can't.
robots.
The reason why they still need people, especially like kids and women, is that the machines can't do little stuff.
Wow.
The machines can pick up a big ass steel beam and move it across the room and put it there.
Yeah.
And they can put together like big stuff. They can assemble stuff. But that's why when you have like a fine piece of hardware like this,
Huh.
they can't make machines that do like microscopic shit
Wow.
because the machines aren't that precise. But it's like, you're not going to get anybody in America to want to do this. This is going to be a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
Of you like, no, this chip needs to go on that board times 10,000.
Yeah, and it's like, how many Amazon factories can we have, too? It's like, we can't have too many more of those.
Well, that's the kind of job where it's like, those are machine jobs at this
Right.
point. Yeah, because it's like a machine can't put a thing in a box.
I just
But
always
the
see
jobs that
drivers.
people are like fighting for, that Trump is trying to bring back to America, are the jobs that like, those are the jobs that like your grandparents like prayed you would never have to do.
Wow.
Where it's like, I hope my dad, they spent 10 hours doing it, thinking like someday my kids' aren't going to be doing this shit.
Now, what do you think? Do you think he's talking to the older folks that think for some reason in their mind they think they don't realize it's cell phones?
They think it's going to be cars.
like steel mills.
They think
or
it's going to be
something.
like,
yeah.
they think it's going to be like Detroit and Motown Ford,
Yeah,
and
they
like
do.
everybody's on an assembly line dancing, and like,
Yeah,
it's like healthcare jobs. Like, no, that's not it.
going down and getting a pint of beer with your buddies.
Yeah, these are the kind of jobs. These aren't middle class jobs that we're talking about. These are the kind of jobs where it's like, even in China, they can't get people to do this kind of shit anymore.
Right.
Because it's like Chinese people got other stuff to do.
Huh.
So it's like, and China has got 5 times as many people as America. They can't find people to do this work.
You
so
know
it's like,
what's
what are we
funny?
going to do?
You know, it's so funny. It's like they go back. You go way back. People would talk to us years ago. They used to say, "Oh yeah, we get a president here. We'll all be building stuff like we're in China." And now we got a president here that's got us wanting to build stuff like we're in China.
Well,
I was
think
telling
about
my
like,
brother.
I mean, like how people say like they want these jobs back, but it's like that Panda Express down the street's been hiring for 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. How many fucking walk by all these restaurants? How many have a now hiring sign in?
Well, I was just telling my brother, I feel like if you just tell people something, you can get them to do anything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years from now, we're all just breaking rocks 12 hours a day. And we're like, look, we don't have to work. We get to break rocks all day.
They got machines to break rocks. They're going to get you. You're going to be the guy who's super gluing one rock to another. And then you're going to be like, fuck, my hands hurt and my
Yeah.
eyes hurt. And it's like, I still got 10 more hours of this.
And 50 more years of
Well,
it.
people, the thing is, this big political thing, because it's guys who'll be like, it'd be like your dad, who'd be like, oh, we need to bring back manufacturing. We need these
Yeah.
jobs back in this country.
Dog breeding.
They're not talking about them working.
Yeah.
They're not talking. They're talking about you working.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, Donald Trump wants to bring back these jobs. Barron Trump's not going to be working in a factory.
Yeah.
He's sending your kids to do it. So
Wow.
it's like everybody has this idea that somebody else is going to want to do this job. It's like, let's hear, show of hands. Let's see who actually wants to walk to the factory and show up on day one. It's like
Yeah.
no one's going to want to do it. It's going to be prisoners.
It's going to be wild. You think it'll even ever happen? I feel
Nah.
like people are going to be too lazy.
They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
If they had to build brick and mortar, they'd have to pay people to do it at their house. Because people aren't going to do a brick and mortar. They're not putting that much money up.
I mean, it's just like you're not going to be able to. It's even Amazon. Most people at Amazon, I think, last like 3 days. I've always heard that.
Yeah.
If you last 3 days, then those guys end up staying for a couple of years. But so many people go there on day one and they work for 2-3 hours and they're like, I'm out.
Kids are lazy.
I can't do. Not even lazy. It's like this is fucking horrible work to do.
Yeah.
This is like
and it doesn't pay enough.
It's minimum wage and it's like soul draining work. You can't even like have headphones on. And they do like, there's like a machine. They like try to make like a video game out of it. So there's like a machine that says like you got to put 5 packages in the next 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And before this ball moves into this cup on a screen, you have to keep this ball in the air.
Like rats.
Yeah, they're trying exactly. But they're trying to like make you like turn off your brain completely. So you're just putting shit in boxes.
Yeah.
Packing socks. And they like they're keeping track of how much tape you wasted.
Wow.
So like tomorrow waste less tape. More boxes, less tape, more efficient.
Man.
And it's like, who wants to fucking do that forever?
Yeah, and you're kind of in that world right now.
At least I have like I'm working for a small business and I have autonomy and I can listen to music and no one really bothers me. But it's like if I had to have somebody on my ass like that watching me through cameras that's like giving me a grade every day.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Well, so there's people hired to watch the people working too.
I mean, there's like AI cam and there's like half the factory is all machines.
Wow.
So there's like you're working while you're watching the machine that's like training itself to do your job.
I got a friend that's trying to get in there. That's the bad part.
Trying?
He's like, man, I just got to get in there and quit.
Is there a process?
Quit working. I'm like, dude, I think you just when you go there.
I think you just show up. Yeah, this is like the army.
Yeah.
They need people all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be. Just think even in like, I don't even know what country they're going to find people who still want to do this kind of shit.
You'll find people in India that'll work.
They're trying. Even those people, though, I mean, like, they got other stuff to do.
Yeah,
or
but they
like,
do enjoy working.
They enjoy doing, like, real work.
I'm with them on the cruise ships, dude. They work. They even watch people
I mean, those cruise ship jobs, that's got to be, like, that's the goal right there.
That's where they're going.
They're in the factory thinking, I'm going to get on a cruise ship.
And the first thing a cruise ship worker will show you is their teeth. They love showing you, like, look, no more cavities. They're pulling back because you get them all fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Look, and they put these in, they don't come out.
The second they got those fixed, they were on WhatsApp talking to their whole family back home. Yeah,
smiling.
Just imagine like 10 people like all crowded around the same phone.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's crazy is I wonder if when the people quit, if they take their teeth back though. You never know with these cruise ship jobs.
Oh my god.
You got to work 2 years to keep the teeth.
Oh god. My TikTok it's all cruise ships for some reason.
Because we talk about it.
Yeah, I think my phone's listening. But yeah, it's disgusting.
I still have nightmares of being on cruise ships. I can't believe it's been about 2 months.
All right. Yeah.
I haven't been on one. Dude, I jumped out of bed 2 nights ago.
Wow.
Thought I was on a ship. Thought I was missing a show.
Thought you were in Jamaica?
It's crazy the amount of stress like that type of traveling leads to you, but when you're in it, you don't realize. Like when we pop and we actually make it, I'm sure it's going to be stressful too, but not like the cruise ship stress, like 3 flights to Japan and then flying to Italy 2 days later. Like you get to plan your itinerary out. There's times I flew from Alaska to Italy, from Italy to Japan, from Japan to Lisbon to Hawaii. It's like all within like 3 weeks.
Unbelievable.
When you think about that, it's like
that's more traveling than most people do in like 10 years.
The amount of stress on my brain. Like I was just telling my friend, I'm like, man, I can't believe I don't have to fly across the world in 2 days.
Right.
Like you're leaving everything you own across the world.
Wow. I'm still so surprised that you did all this. I mean, we've done this podcast forever. We're always talking about you got to go here, here, here. I'm so surprised you didn't just like get left in like, in Africa at some point and just get stranded. Times. But it feels like that would have just happened, where you would have just been like, you would have ended up spending like a month in fucking Spain or something.
I'll tell you, it almost happened. Spain's pretty cool, but when you get down in like Jamaica and Bahamas,
something like that.
The Bahamas people act like, oh, it's not bad. It's right by Florida. Bro, every ad is a missing person ad. The Bahamas is next level grimy. Wow. But they just don't want us knowing because, so much tourism is the Bahamas. Like, but
think about how much it's just Turks and Caicos was just their whole economy is Drake.
Think about how much, and they probably boosted majorly.
They must love Drake. That guy must be like the patron saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, they got, how much hush money do you think is spent to keep the news quiet in the Bahamas? Because I go there. Dude, I'm telling you, every 15 feet, it's a missing person ad.
Wow.
It's like that's where you get got. And it's when you try to do something bad. Like the one time I almost got out there. I was with this dude, wanted to cheat on his wife, car salesman. I'm trying to talk him out of it. He's with like 3 other car salesmen. He's telling us, bro, you don't understand the month we had. And he's like going in. He's like, you know how many Toyotas I moved? He's like, I'm picking up a hooker. And I couldn't tell him no. So we're going all over. Dude, we end up in this place in a basement dug out by a hole in the ground. Dude, I'm looking, dude. It's fucking dirt on the ground.
Wow.
We're waiting for a girl. I'm like, bro, I'm leaving. I left the dude. He didn't want to hear it. I left his ass, and I don't think the dude made it back to the ship.
Wow.
He's one of those people. I seen him everywhere on the ship. Maybe he ended up in the brig. He got off that ship. He's like, man, you don't know how many Toyotas I sold.
Wow.
He was telling us, he's like, Corollas, fucking all of them. He was telling me about the LS models.
Well, you'd think that guy would be getting a hooker here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't sell that many Toyotas. Still have to go down to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to step it up a little bit.
Right.
Man.
And I didn't see a dude on the ship. He was a loudmouth, always in the casino, making noise. And, left his ass in the Bahamas.
Oh, what's funny about those kinds of countries that are so reliant on tourism is that they are like dangerous and there's people getting kidnapped and ransom notes and everything. But it's like everybody who lives there also knows that they need this tourism.
Right.
You take away that tourism, that shit, they got nothing.
Oh, bro, that place is after 6 o'clock, the Bahamas sucks.
Yeah. I mean, even like it's the kind of place that's poor and expensive at the same time.
But it's only cruise ship. Like it's mostly cruise ship tourism.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
but it's like if you took that away, though, I mean, that's the only source of actual income coming in.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like, even the stuff they have there, it's all like, if you get like a can of Pepsi, that's not even like it's cheap, right? Because that Pepsi had to be brought in from America.
Yeah.
So it's like everything it's like double poor.
Yeah, that's true too. And the way that the people scheme there right now, I couldn't imagine. They must spend money bad. I don't know how expensive it is to live there, but everybody's scheming. Like every worker is trying to pinch something off the top. If you ask for a food reservation, right? Hey, I'm looking for a good Jamaican spot or a Bahama place. Oh, I know a place. He's calling his driver.
Right.
His driver's taking you extra far to a place that sucks, and they're giving the driver $15, and everything's overpriced.
And none of those transactions are getting taxed.
Right.
So nothing's actually, the roads aren't getting fixed, and they're not, building schools and stuff.
Right. Oh, yeah, without a doubt, dude. They ain't even fixing the buildings.
But, I mean, just think about how an economy like that works, where the island itself, the country itself doesn't make anything. So there's no, like, factories where it's like we're going to make this tool that people are going to buy in other countries, so we're going to export this tool to there. All the money is just we need Americans who want to go on vacation to come here and give us money.
Just because it's sunny.
Well, just because it's sunny and it's like the island has nothing else. So it's like we got to make this nice for vacationers. But it's like, think about what America looks like. Like we were saying, country doesn't really make anything anymore.
Right.
All this factory stuff's overseas. All Americans are doing is just moving money from overseas into America back out of overseas.
Yeah.
So it's like over time, that's what the country's going to become. Everybody's going to have to scheme everybody else.
Yeah. We're here in America, you think?
Well,
we already are.
Exactly. But it's like it's going to be that times 1,000 in the next 10, 20 years.
Either that or a cruise ship company will buy it and take over.
Well, that's what all we can do is like you see groups of Chinese tourists. We see it in New York City especially.
Yeah.
This whole half of the city is tourists at any given moment.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what this entire country has to be. It's going to be like a resort for Chinese and Saudi Arabian tourists.
And it's really just for a few things. People come to America for what? The Golden Gate Bridge, wherever that bridge is in San Fran. The Brooklyn Bridge, of course, Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building.
Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm. What else? Disneyland, Disney World.
Yeah, New Orleans, maybe.
New Orleans. That's about it. Maybe something
It's
in
not
Texas.
a whole lot. Yeah. But it's very light. But it's like I think in the future, everything is going to become tourism, because that's all we can really do here.
Yeah, Hollywood and tourism.
Yeah, but it's like we're going to have to build tourism. It's going to be something that they don't already have in China.
Well, did you see they got a mini New York and Vegas now? Dude, despicable,
really?
bro. It's like, yeah, I mean, how could you even do that?
Like these cities got to be more original.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You got to come up with some new shit.
You got an Empire State Building in New York. Oh, let's go look at the one that's not the one.
Let's go walk at the one that's 1/10 of the size.
That we just built for fucking $500.
Yeah, you can't even go inside.
Yeah.
Nah, more cities need to embrace, like we were saying before, like freak shows.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You got to come to this city. There's a guy, you wouldn't believe it. This dude's got 2 heads, and he's only in Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, I think what would save America is if we made it like Amsterdam.
What do you mean?
Like, everything goes, drugs, prostitution, gambling.
Right. Well, I think the problem with that is that, like, you would still end up with L.A., New York being cool places.
Yeah.
And it's like,
because people ain't doing that in Utah.
Well, not even that, but it's like there's only so many hot women in the country. You know what I mean? So it's like it would still be equal. The only way you can actually make that kind of thing work, like I was saying, every city needs to be special.
Yeah.
So you got to have one thing that's legal in each city. You know what I mean? If there's one city, it's like that's the hooker city.
You could kill somebody in Detroit.
That's the killer city right there, yeah. That's the city right there. You want to drive drunk. Miami. So it's like throughout the year, you go on one vacation every few months where it's like, what kind of fucking vice am I going to do now?
Well, what's the change like somewhere like Hong Kong being as good as America? Like, how come these places ain't as good as America? Like everybody...
Well, there's just like everything's all packed together.
But can they make those places? Because everybody's like, oh, America's the best place. Now, I'm not saying it's not. I love America too. But I'm saying
as a tourist, it's not.
When you go to like Italy or places like that or the UK, or, like, why aren't those as good as America?
Well, I mean, like you grow up in one place, you just want to see something different. So
yeah.
people grow up in China and they have, they've been watching movies their whole life. So they think they want to come to New York. See, Crocodile Dundee or something.
Right.
Yeah.
See where The Godfather happened.
But the problem now is that, like, there's cities in China that are, like, they got cities in China that they just built in the last 10, 20 years that are, like, 3 times the size of New York City.
Wow.
That are, like, legit cities that are filled with people, like 20 million people. And
That's
you see,
insane.
like, the skylines, they look nice. They got, like, big sky rises, and there's all these blinking lights and shit everywhere.
Everything's going to big cities.
Well, it's just like, why would those people want to come here?
When people say we're overpopulated, it's like, no, we're not, dude. I feel like we could make every city like New York and Chicago.
Once you've flown extensively across country, there is so much space.
Right.
There is more space.
There's nothing going on.
There is a whole lot of a couple hours between once you hit, I don't know, after like Pennsylvania going west.
They should make every city. We should populate like crazy. Everybody have 10, 20 kids.
I mean, Utah, Idaho,
right?
That
Arizona,
whole stretch. Kansas. It's like there's a lot of room.
Not for nothing. Even Florida's empty. I flew over Florida.
Once you get past the coast,
I want to see it like people hanging out the windows like it was in the 20s. The street trolleys all on people carrying goods.
But there's just got to be a place. I mean, like. Think about how much space we have and how many cities we could have there. But just if you make each of these cities, like, you got to go there at least once.
Yeah.
That's the hooker city.
Yeah. That place got the best onion rings.
Well, you want to go here. Here's where you get revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a revenge city.
You could swear here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can curse all you want. You can be mean to old women here if you want.
Yeah, do it. You got to do it. Let's go.
You got to go for a day.
You never been to Wyoming? Oh, you got to go yell at some older ladies down there. Hey, you dumb bitch.
Oh, that would be cool.
You stupid blue vein bitch.
I mean, not for more than 2 days.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like, no, go back to the airport, get some apple pie. You get that out.
Bad.
Get that out of your system. But it's like, no, that's the thing. You don't even feel bad because it's like that's what the economy is.
You do want to ask people like, hey, is that baby powder on your face?
Yeah, right. I always think whenever I'm walking on the subway or something, I always want to take pictures of people.
Yeah.
You see this guy looks like an asshole, but I feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't like taking pictures of strangers. Imagine if there was a city where it's like, nah, you can take pictures of anybody.
Oh, I think China is like that.
This is the opt-in. Nah, even China. There are social regulations of these things where it's like people feel awkward. But imagine if it's like the Purge, where it's like, no, this one city, you go to Memphis, take a picture of anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting filmed all the time. That would be cool.
The way technology is moving, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a thing in 10 years to where if you're on video, you have to approve it. like facial recognition knows if you're on.
Nah.
It asks for your approval, or it just blurs your face.
The world is going the complete opposite direction.
You think?
Where it's like you have zero. Once the second you leave your home, you have zero rights. I bet in the future it's going to be like, if you get filmed, it's like, oh, you shouldn't have left those blinds open.
Yeah.
Someone was going to be out
on
that roof over there filming you. Like, no, we got you on film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your fault for not closing your window.
I had a landlord, and I didn't have curtains, and he used to come up with a ladder and look in my room, look in all our rooms.
Wow.
I looked over. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just checking some things.
Wow.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Want to make sure this window is still see-through.
Every girl moved out within 3 days of living there.
Wow.
Every single girl. We had 4 girls in the house. They all moved out.
Wow. Yeah, he probably had cameras inside and stuff, too.
He was a Russian dude, too, man. Remember he was trying to learn how to read? I told you about that dude.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be an actor. It didn't work out for him.
Show business, man.
Yeah, he left Russia to come here and be an actor.
All right, let's plug some dates, huh?
Man, dude, I gave up comedy. I didn't tell you. I quit stand-up.
Let's plug some dates. You're going to the gym.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow's
Monday,
Friday.
Wednesday, Friday,
What do you got tomorrow?
Tomorrow's deadlifts.
Deadlifts.
I'm doing deadlifts and rows, yeah.
And Saturday you're going to do some cardio.
Dude, I took a little break from stand-up. It feels good. Actually, I have a spot at Old Man Hustle on the midnight Friday night.
Yeah, well, it's just at least let people know what kind of fitness routine you're doing.
Yeah, dude, I'm
full body workout. You're gonna start
body.
doing some swimming.
I wish, dude. That would be dope.
That would be nice. So that's the full body workout.
I gotta get the running in. To me, dude, running. If you could sit there, if you could run for like 45 minutes a day or every other day, you're unstoppable with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like stand up.
Well, it gives you more energy too.
Yeah, it's like you're not gonna get tired writing jokes, dude. I get tired writing jokes and filming. That's nothing. I used to go detail cars or bust out cement.
Right.
But that mental tiredness is something you gotta be extra prepared for. That mental tiredness.
Well, it's just if you're not in the activity mode, then your body just kind of like it locks up.
Yeah, is that what it is?
You got to keep the blood flowing. You got to keep the oil moving.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you get still too much, then it's like things, especially you get older.
Yeah, I
things
gotta
start getting bad.
Stuff. Like you maybe get some jumping jacks going when I try to write jokes.
Yeah, all the people out there though, if you got some fitness tips, if you want to get, tell Dom what to do in the gym. Yeah,
actually, guys, see what % body fat I could get to, because somebody told me I looked weird when I was all cut up. They're like, you just, you didn't look the same.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's almost like when Dave Chappelle wasn't skinny no more. You ever hear people say that?
Yeah.
They're like, I like the skinny Chappelle.
It was a little bit off-putting. But he went, like, big with it.
Yeah.
You're not getting, like, huge.
Yeah, I just want to get, like, some cheekbones.